Next on Today in St. Louis, tensions rise here as the fighting intensifies in Israel. Why security escorted some demonstrators out of the Board of Alderman chambers.
And the view outside this morning, it is a quiet start to the day, but it's going to pick up. I'll tell you what weather phenomena we're looking at today.
Two big additions to the Lou, the new places for golf and basketball fanatics to play here in St. Louis.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
All right, wake up, St. Louis. We are waking up with a live look at both City Park Stadium and the Enterprise Center. That's right, a twofer for you this morning. If you're heading downtown this evening for any reason, you'll want to leave a few minutes early. We're expecting a decent amount of traffic as fans head downtown for City SC's final home match of the season. Woo! And the Blues game against Sidney Crosby and the Penguins. The puck drops at 7 and City SC's match starts at 8. Well, good morning to you. It's Saturday, October 21st. I'm Travis Cummings.
And I'm Mercedes McKay. We have a ton going on this weekend.
We do.
It's so exciting to be living in St. Louis during this time.
Ooh.
Between City SC, the Blues. It's going to be a fun weekend.
Yes, economic engine. That's right. Spend that money.
You love the economic engine part of it.
I do.
Well, we're all reunited now. We're joined by Weather First meteorologist Tracy Henson. Tracy, we missed you last week. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I was off in Orlando, no surprise, celebrating my sister's 30th birthday.
Aw, happy birthday.
Had a great time. All right, 54 degrees for us. Winds are out of the south at just under 5 miles per hour. Very light winds right now. That is not going to be the case later. And while humidity does seem like it's high for overnight, this is nothing. This is close to 70%. So you probably need that humidifier if you're waking up with a little bit of a scratchy throat or maybe just feel a little dry. It's just the humidity out there being very low. Temperatures today will make it all the way into the mid-70s. A very warm day out there with plenty of sunshine. It will be quite breezy though, with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. 30 mile per hour gusts today. And then overnight tonight, our winds will settle down to out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Now 15 miles per hour for overnight, still a good little breeze though. 47 degrees for your overnight low temperature, and you were looking forward to sunset at 6:15.
All right, thank you so much, Tracy. This morning, we're working to learn the condition of a man shot in Wentzville last night. The shooting happened just before 8 p.m. on Evergreen Court near Highway A. Wentzville police tell us one man shot another after a fight turned physical, but they don't know the relationship to the two right now. Right now, they have the suspect in custody, but the last we heard about the victim was that they rushed him to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
New this morning, an encouraging update for those trapped in Gaza at the Egyptian border. About 3 hours ago, around 20 aid trucks passed into Gaza from Egypt carrying food, water, and medical supplies. Now, this comes just 12 hours after we received confirmation that Hamas released 2 American hostages into Israel custody. They are Evanston, Illinois residents Judith Runnan and her daughter, Natalie. Now, Hamas kidnapped them during the initial attack on Israel on October 7th. They were visiting family near the Gaza border. This morning, we're hearing from their husband and father.
I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, for 2 weeks. I haven't been sleeping for 2 weeks. Tonight I'm going to sleep good. Hopefully I'm going to see them next week. Next week is Natalie's birthday on the 24th. And we're going to celebrate her birthday here in my home.
Hamas's military spokesperson says the group released the 2 for humanitarian reasons in an agreement with the Qatari government. The U.S. is now focusing on the release of 10 other Americans. We'll hear from Secretary of State Antony Blinken on those recovery efforts in about 20 minutes.
Well, tensions are growing here in St. Louis as the war unravels in Israel. Yesterday, police ushered dozens of Palestinian-American protesters out of the St. Louis Board of Alderman chambers as they discussed a resolution supporting the Israeli military. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, walks us through what happened.
This is the room where aldermen typically consider mundane policies about speed bumps, zoning, or housing.
33 puts in more stringent.
But on this day,
and it's a conversation that nobody wants to talk about.
One of the world's most protracted conflicts boiled over at City Hall.
You didn't mention one health kids out there. Where are your kids? They are warm in bed. They go to school.
Police ultimately ushered dozens of Palestinian protesters out of the chambers. After the clerk read Alderman Tom Oldenburg's resolution into the record.
The Board of Aldermen stands in solidarity with Israel as it defends itself against the barbaric war launched by Hamas.
You're not human enough to do what we're saying.
Shame on you, Alderman Oldenburg.
He mentioned the barbarism and the heinous crimes and the terrorist Hamas, but he didn't once mention the Palestinians killed by the Israelis. He even went as far to mention the Palestinians killed by Hamas, but he didn't mention the Palestinians killed by Israeli.
The words alone would have been just that. Words.
We don't really have what you think the power to do this.
But those words were powerful enough to open wounds.
There's been a lot of tragedy in our community.
Some old and some new.
I know one person here in St. Louis who lost 14 members of his family in Gaza.
After tempers flared, Oldenburg apologized, saying he regrets the pain and tension his resolution caused.
And we want you to speak.
7 of the 14 members of the board stayed behind to hear them out.
This is the first alderman meeting I've ever been to.
Omar Badran urged city officials to call on Congress and the president to support a ceasefire.
If you don't have the moral conviction and courage to stand up in a situation like this, then I think you don't even really deserve a position in any elected office.
Reporting in St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Now, the public can comment on the board's Israel resolutions in the coming week as they move through committee.
This morning, Missouri's Second Amendment Preservation Act is on hold. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected the emergency appeal from the state. The law fines police officers $50,000 for knowingly enforcing federal gun laws that don't match up with the state's. A district judge ruled it unconstitutional but allowed it to remain in effect. A federal appeals court then blocked it, prompting the state's emergency appeal.
Also this morning, the lawsuit challenging a Missouri law that restricts gender-affirming care for minors is now without a judge. Judge Stephen Omer agreed to step aside yesterday, but says assigning a new judge could delay the case into 2024. Missouri Supreme Court originally appointed him to the suit. It's unclear when the court will appoint a new judge.
And I can ask my friends if they want to come down to play basketball.
Oh, there's a new spot for kids and adults to shoot some hoops here in St. Louis. How the city hopes it will impact the community, and the other park planning to add courts of its own.
And it's a fun way to trick or treat and learn at the same time. Today's Halloween festival with an emphasis on fire safety.
All right, your backyard forecast today, a warm one as temperatures make it up into the mid-70s. I'm going over your full forecast and when the wind will pick up.